Yo, what is going on? Welcome to Rue's Reviews, where we keep it for real, for real. I am Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid,
I'm Informer, aka Iffy.
and today we're running it back. This is well, I guess you can kind of say part two.
Yeah.
Once again, LA alternative hip hop duo Louis Pastel and Felix. They dropped a project, They Left Me With the Sword, last week, and I said that this is probably one of the more interesting hip hop releases of the year so far, next to Larry June, 2 Chainz, Alchemist, and the West Side Gun project. This is their first release since mid-air in 2023, and they will be on tour with Tyler the Creator later in the year, which we are very excited for.
Yes.
Okay, that's the recap. Let's get into this specific project. They Left Me With a Gun. Iffy, what's your overall thoughts of part two?
All right. Once again, comically surprised at the fact that they dropped another EP. And I think it's more surprising than the first time because it's like, you just dropped. Like, why are we dropping again?
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't expecting this one, but I liked it a lot, and it's same kind of context and prefacing. I'm quite biased towards Paris, Texas. I've loved them for a long time. So it's kind of hard for them to do wrong in my eyes. I won't lie. But yeah, They Left Me With the Gun really differed from They Left Me With the Sword.
For sure.
Just because this one was a lot more indie rock leaning, I
Yep,
guess,
yep.
than rap and hip hop. But I have no complaints.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so other things,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm actually gonna wait to talk on that.
Okay,
Because this is
interesting.
a first for me when it comes to Paris, Texas.
Okay.
But I liked it.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I liked this. I think more than the first part personally.
Really?
Spent another week with Paris, Texas, just hanging out with them. Chilling, vibing. And yeah, I feel like I have a fair bit more to take from this. Again, I still don't think I'm fully there. I still think I
Yeah.
need to spend a lot more time with them, but I do enjoy this a gun more than sword, is how I've been using the
I'm
shorthand
actually
for
also
it.
gonna be doing that too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, let's get into it. Let's get into some pros. Iffy, what are some pros for gun?
All right. Well, it's just like as a whole, I love their ability to kind of just drop randomly on a Friday.
Okay.
And I love the fact that it's this weird continuation of the last project, which was Sword. And yeah, it makes me excited to see if there's anything else they're gonna leave us with, or if they're just gonna stop it here. Like now, I really don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I said for the last project, I can't step away from the variation that they provide their listeners with and that they put in their songs, and they truly do what they want in terms of sonics and genre blending, and it's always going to work on me. Like, it's a cheat code, and yeah, this time around I really loved the incorporation of the synths, a lot more synths, and I was like, oh my god, like this is just amazing. I feel like my standout songs, I'm not gonna lie, all of them. I think I wrote something for everything, so I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it sweet.
Okay.
First of all, Superstar. Love the start of the song. As I said, the synth gets me, and that honestly might be my fave part. I love the continuation of the narrator from the last EP as well. And I love their verses. This is where you kind of see the indie sound being brought in a lot more. Twin Geeka. Um, I'm gonna get into that later on as well.
Okay.
But I really did love this song so much. Once again, that indie tone. Um, a weird thing I loved was the transition from Mudbone to Halo.
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't realize that Halo had even started. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. I just love the song Halo. I think that is the fave on the EP for me for sure. Very Paris, Texas, very lovely. And no strings as well. That gave Friday. That gave Friday to me.
Okay. Wait. As in Our Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Okay.
need to take
I
a
hear it.
listen.
I
Like,
hear
I was
it.
like, damn. Like, I was like, okay. The singing, they sung on that track, and it was a nice thing to hear from them because they don't really ever sing. And I love the ending. The classical strings on that one was gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful ending to the project. So yeah, those are my pros and my standouts.
Nice.
Woo.
Nice. Yeah. I agree with a lot of what you said for sure. I do think again, compared to Sword, I think there's a lot better balance of styles and aesthetics across this one. It is a lot more indie rock than rap, but that kind of allowed for it.
Yeah.
I feel like Sword didn't have the natural roller coaster that a project should have that makes it like super interesting. It's hard. It goes super hard, and maybe that's again reason why Red Eyes Blue Hearts stuck out like a thumbnail, like a red thumb, like a sore thumb, should I say? That's the phrase. But yeah. I feel like I said, I feel like Gun has a lot more emotionally notable
Yeah.
moments. With seeing as the last thing you brought up, No Strings. I love that song. I think the idea talking about relationships and how they approach it, but contemplating on that and where they're at. Again, I feel like I'm like, okay, cool. I got a topic that that's not a super dumb just rap, fun rap stuff that I'm like, okay, cool. That kind of gives a little more context to them as people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. Okay, I feel like we're getting somewhere. The strings, like I said, nice touch on the back end, feel cinematic. I wish it didn't end so suddenly. I wish it was a bit more of a fade out. It just felt like very boom. But I guess you can count that as a small con. I do think the skits, spoken parts felt a lot more concise, more fitting on Gun.
Yeah.
The Wench for You one is my favorite across both the projects. That one's funny. That catches me every time, and I think it's so funny in between Twin Geeka and Stripper Song.
Yeah.
And that one's the one where the transition feels so smooth that I'm like, oh, did it transition to Stripper Song? Going back to Twin Geeka though, it sounds like the most intense, stressful video game soundtrack when it's not them rapping or singing. Just the instrumental at some points. I'm like, yeah, no, if I was playing a video game and this came on, no, I gotta switch it off because there's too much input. But yeah, probably again the most consistent thing I've heard from Paris, Texas so far in my early stages of listening to them. But yeah, let's get into cons. You did kind of note that you had a couple comments, which is interesting based on last review where you said you had no cons.
I know.
So yeah.
Okay. I only had one, and oh my god, I could swear at how much I disliked this. I hated the placement of the second song.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
So you like the song?
I love
for the
Twin
record?
Giga, yes. I love the song.
Yeah.
But it was the most jarring thing to the way I need to like set the scene.
Okay.
Superstar, indie tones. They both have indie tones, but Superstar was really like slow kind of start. Ending, drifted off, and then boom.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even like it was like, oh my god. It took me by surprise, and the more like I listened to the project over and over, I was like, yeah, I don't like the placement of this song. And normally like that's what they're kind of known for as well, like being just very like erratic, but I really was like, I can't get behind this one this time around. But yeah, like I feel like that was it. That was the only con for me. I loved everything else, but I feel like they could have done two things. They could have ended Superstar differently or started Twin Geeka differently.
Okay.
So the flow is kind of consistent there, or just move and rearrange Twin Giga separate. Like, I feel like move that out. But I loved it.
Okay. Fair enough. And yeah, I was really struggling to think of cons as well. But again, not because I thought this was the greatest thing of all time. But please don't take that wrong. I wrote, this was my only con. And again, probably not a con, just a personal feeling. I said, I still need to figure out who Paris, Texas are. I feel like that's what's holding me back from fully getting into this. Because I listened to this multiple times, so many times. I was like, okay, this flows nicely. I can't find any like particular things where I'm like, I don't like this. There's one thing, I don't like this. I'm like, no, this is fun. Halo's fun. Twin Geeka, it's kind of goofy with the more Detroit, very choppy flows and stuff. No Strings, again, beautiful, touched on that. Stripper Song, fun. There's the moments. But overall, as the whole thing, I'm like, again, No Strings is probably the closest to okay. I'm
Like,
starting
seeing
to hear
you,
the
yeah.
get something.
Mm.
But in everything that I've listened to Paris, Texas so far, it's all been fun, super. Some goofy stuff, some fun. But I haven't heard any like emotional moments that
Mm.
bring or moments lyrically that's like okay, I'm starting to get understand
Yeah.
your true understand who you are behind the mic
Yeah.
or off the mic
Yeah.
type thing. Again, not saying that everyone has to write their super ballady thing or something super heartfelt for you to understand who you are as an artist, but seeing as they kind of dabble in the indie rock things, it's nice. It's not like they're making all trap.
Yeah.
Um, you know, there are artists who you just, you don't need that stuff from, but, you can see it by the way they dress or whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm rambling. Yeah, I just need to figure out who Paris, Texas are more, Again, that's my homework.
I think maybe, you know,
Mhm.
thought for, food for thought. Yep.
Food for thought. Nice.
Maybe it's because it's EPs that they're kind of not diving deep more into. Because like you've listened to Midair.
Yep,
Um,
but only once.
that's true.
Yeah.
But even like from someone who's listened to it multiple times,
Yeah.
they dive in a lot more. That is a very like like personal
Okay.
project.
Okay.
And then like with the EPs, I was speaking to Lindsay once again, shout out Lindsay,
Shout out Lindsay.
and he was like, oh, like how are they? And I was like, they're just like they're fun, they're great, but they're fun. And he's like, no, I expected that. Like
Yeah.
I feel like if you give them like a long format of a project, that's when they'd kind of maybe want to.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know them. I don't know how their brains work. But making excuses for my boys.
Yeah. I mean, you can combine the two parts and it's a long project.
That is
technically.
That is true.
So, and they gave us 14 tracks over the past 2 weeks. So, if you want to, then you can kind of combine sword and gun and make that one big project that, again, is about the length. Well, no, that's wrong. It's not about the length of Midair because Midair is like 50 minutes. But you go what I mean. Like they still gave us a full body's work of project, like 35 minutes in total. But yeah, that's fair. And maybe again, I need to do my homework. I'm not saying that I am the full-fledged understanding of Paris, Texas music. I am very much not. Iffy is a lot more inducted than I am. So again, this is my journey with Paris, Texas. This is mostly more like at surface level, but I would love to try and get to know them a lot more. But
and you will.
Anyway, yeah. Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
Final thing before we get to ratings. Komar earlier today when I was we were listening to this and I was still trying to figure out my final little pieces of notes. He was like, the thing that made me fall in love with Paris, Texas was seeing them live. So
Whoa.
to bring it full circle,
100%.
I mentioned it multiple times, but there's a reason I mentioned it again and emphasize it. Oh, I didn't really emphasize it, but mention it again at the start of this review is that he'll be on tour with Tyler, the Creator, which I love Tyler, the Creator. Last time I saw him, so good. So I'm very excited to see them when they open for Tyler, to see what it is that will take that to the next level.
It's as someone who's seen them live, that was Coma was like right on with that one. Like that was what got me, and then I didn't stop listening to him after that.
Yeah.
I will say that mosh, prepare to nearly die. No, I'm not even. You need to brace yourself.
For sure.
Jesus Christ.
Good thing I will not be in that mosh because I do not go anywhere near moshes anymore. Or I stand on the outside of moshes. I went to Denzel Curry. I was like, the outskirts.
Me with JID, I was
Not
like,
even-
why'd I do that?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
it's too much.
No, that's child's play. I am too old. I'll be 27 on Sunday. Don't.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, who cares about that? Let's get into the final ratings. So if you do not know, here is our rating system. It goes, are we here for this? Does it depend on the day whether you're here for this or not? Or are we feeling iffy about it? Iffy, what's your rating?
Hey. Okay, sorry, that was random. Just like, don't look at me like that. Just like their last project, I'm here for this. And as I said, you're gonna have to rip them out of my cold dead hands. I'm always gonna be here for them. I really love the random continuation of a story that we didn't even really know was a story to begin with. And yeah, as I said, it makes me super excited to see if they'll kind of continue this, or if they're just gonna drop it off. Although the placement of Twin Geek Art kind of got me in the head, like it didn't hinder anything from the sound or their flow or their delivery. And yeah, I feel like this one was, as I said, also quite different to their last EP, Gun. No, Sword. Oh my
Sword,
god,
yep.
wow. Yeah, as I said, less hip hop aspects in this one, more indie rock and some singing, which we don't really ever get to see from Paris, Texas. But I am so happy that they got to like explore these sounds in like the EP. So yeah, I have saved every song and I'm excited to keep on going.
Nice. And for me, again, I feel like it'll make sense with what I said for the cons. Is it depends on the day. Yeah, like I said in the cons. I still need to figure out who Paris, Texas are. I feel like that's what's holding me back, but I'm still excited for that journey, and I'm excited to see them perform with before Tyler the Creator. Part 3?
Yes.
Question mark.
I was gonna say we might be here next week again, so who knows?
Paris, Texas trilogy. Goodness.
Okay, weekend.
But anyway, Paris, Texas. They left me with a gun. On Rouge Reviews, where we keep it for real, for real. I am Rue, okay, the Culture Black Kid,
I am Ifoma, aka Iffy.
and we'll catch you next time. Peace.